嗨，各位线上的伙伴们，晚上好！很高兴又到了每周四的光科技时间，和大家在线上一同学习，一同成长。上周我们透过影片走进了 David 的创业以及他的初心的故事，看见他如何在没有资源的情况之下，靠着信念还有坚持，一步步的走到今天。也谢谢大家在聊天室分享你们的感受以及启发。今天我们要探讨的是LifeWave如何颠覆直销产业，这背后不只是产品制度，而是整个公司在供应链、品牌、愿景上面的布局。我们今天呢，也将延续上周的方式，一段简报，一段影片。现在呢，让我们再次的走进 David 所分享的这一个主题开始。刚刚我们说了，不是要分享直销的制度跟其他的公司有所不同，而是LifeWave如何从3个关键策略重新定义这个产业。第一是供应链更自动化的生产，建立了我们稳健的基础。第二是我们欢迎中心沉浸式的一种体验，要创造一个品牌的震撼以及未来的感觉。第三，这是一个跨世代的企业愿景，要铺成我们的蓝图。这些行动正在一步步的改变直销的未来，也改变我们的未来。那我们看这段影片吧。
In addition to having the right product, creating this culture, having great leaders, along the way, and then come into the company, what are some of the other things that have really helped the company to grow and also keep up with that growth? Because that kind of growth, while it's a wonderful thing, can bury a lot of companies, but yet never been out of stock. Product's always been there. So what are a few of those additional things that have helped you grow and scale and support that growth?
Yeah, so there's a few things that you do on a practical level to stay ahead of the growth. And then there's other things where you look to the future and you say, what can I do that's really innovative, that's really different? What are some of the things that maybe the landscape of the competition is not thinking about that we could do? How can we, for example, pull people into our channel that are outside the channel? What are some novel ways of doing that? So maybe we can take that one step at a time. The first thing on the day-to-day things, you obviously have to look at your infrastructure and your supply chain and how can you make yourself as bulletproof as possible with changing geopolitical circumstances. So one of the things that we've done is invested heavily into engineering and to be looking at our manufacturing process and thinking ahead and saying, how can we incorporate robotics into our manufacturing? How can we incorporate these computerized visual detection systems into what we're doing? So in one example, just a few years ago, when we needed to order a new piece of equipment to expand manufacturing, that was an opportunity to say, okay, let's make this thing fully automated with state-of-the-art robotics and some other features. And we ended up with a system that was 3 times faster than the machine that it was replacing. But not only that, the original equipment required 18 people to operate it, and the new equipment only requires 2 people. So we can currently manufacture enough product in-house to support a business doing about $2 billion a year. So we're way ahead of the curve. And this year, we'll be ordering another piece of equipment and expanding out to a 70,000 square foot manufacturing facility. And that will take us up to about the $3 billion mark or so. So being able to look at growth curves and stay ahead with your manufacturing is absolutely critical. And so we don't have stockouts. We always have 3-4 months of inventory. So that's something that our brand partners have definitely come to appreciate, that they don't have stockout issues. So that's just something that is part of normal weekly management reviews, looking at customer service, looking at order fulfillment, looking at manufacturing, and then looking at some key indicators and saying, okay, it's time to make an investment in this area. So, we're way ahead of the curve. So those things are kind of self-evident, but they've worked very, very well for us.
刚刚我们在影片当中看到，莱威的生产线早已全面的自动化。这不只是速度上面的提升，而是让我们从产品能够长期稳定的供应，这是一个非常重要的事情。在技术上面有2个关键，一个是自动化的制造，年产值已经突破了30亿哦，那产量的效能也提升了3倍，从原本需要18个人的人力，如今只需要2个人就能够完成。同时呢，也保持3到4个月的库存量，并且有完整的体系，不只是在制造端，从出货到客服到整个流程都是无缝的整合，确保每一个使用者都能够安心并且信任。说到这里，我想带大家更直观的去看看我们这些每天都在使用的贴片是如何一步步的被制作出来的呢？大家来看这段短片吧。看到了每一片的贴片都这样子快速的被制造出来了，觉得如何呢？欢迎在底下留言跟我们分享。那接下来我们来看下一段影片。
Looking past that, there's definitely some projects that we've taken on that have been very high risk. However, I'm delighted that they've paid off so well. One of them is our Welcome Center. So I started with this idea that I could build this thing for $1 million, and that was going to be the budget. And myself and Jim Caldwell, who's our VP of Special Projects, he and I kind of threw this around, and he said, I don't think we're going to build this for $1 million. I was like, well, I can build a house for $1 million. So, but we started to recruit some talent, and it became very obvious that this was going to be extremely expensive. But we went ahead and after maybe 18 months, this thing finally took shape and now is in our office in Draper. And we got to do the unveiling in the middle of September. And the reaction, I can honestly say this was one of the top 5 events I was ever at for LifeWave in 20 years, because the reaction from the brand partners was priceless. They had this blend of being excited, almost like in disbelief. They felt like they were inside of a spaceship learning about LifeWave and the company. And so we took this idea of the welcome center and said, we want people to come in and have it be completely immersive. So we included holograms, we included workstations that look like they're straight out of Star Trek. And we wanted to show people, this is where we've been, this is where we are today, and this is where we're going in the future. So anyone coming in from around the world, they will get a presentation in the Welcome Center in their language. We have every language that we support. And they can find out about LifeWave in a really entertaining way. So we've put through, 100 people now through the Welcome Center, well, more than that, including staff. And every single person that has gone through, they just describe it as jaw-dropping, and they're ecstatic about it. So we're going to be able to use this Welcome Center as a tool for building our business in a really interesting way in the coming years.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been fortunate to go through it a few times, and it's almost hard to describe. I mean, even as I heard you describe it right now, to understand the scale, the sophistication, and the technology that's involved, just talking about it really doesn't do it justice. And it's unlike any other welcome center, where often welcome centers can feel like a museum. And it's just looking backwards and, here's some glass boxes with some of our products. As you mentioned, this truly is an immersive experience. And I love that you've taken it to future looking as well. And this isn't, wishful future thinking. It's things that you've been working on, things that are developing, things that are on the roadmap. And to be able to see where the company, has been, is at today, and the incredible things that people have the potential to be a part of is unlike any experience. And so whether you're, one of the top field leaders or somebody brand new coming in, you walk away from this incredible brand touch point and brand experience with belief and knowledge in the company that truly is empowering to anybody that walks through it. It's incredible.
接下来我们要走进莱威的迎宾中心。这个地方并不是一般的展厅，而是一个结合科技、品牌、未来的愿景的沉浸式体验。当你踏进去，就像走进了星际战警的这一个剑桥，从光影、声效到全息投影，每一个细节都传递的莱威的核心价值。这不是一些单纯的产品，而是跨世代的一个愿景。那接下来我们就透过了这个影片，让我们一起亲身的体验这一个颠覆直销产业的品牌震撼吧。
Hey, let's go.
Well, hi there, and welcome to LifeWave's global headquarters.
世界中の何百万もの人々にとってLifeWaveは希望を象徴し、真実と光の灯台を象徴しています。
It's one of those things where you have to be there to understand the magnitude of what you experience when you walk in.
It literally is giving me goosebumps.
Like, it's just mesmerizing.
All I can say is, wow.
felt like you were on a journey in outer space. Just simply amazing.
What an incredible, breathtaking experience.
I cannot believe what I saw, but I saw it.
Whoever you bring here, they will be sold.
The genius and the vision and the work that went into this was absolutely amazing.
It's just honestly mind-blowing to see the technology, the evolution of this company.
The sky's the limit. That's all I can say.
I'm just speechless. It was so beautiful. I don't even know what to say.
This is the most exciting, jaw-dropping presentation I've ever experienced.
Yeah, thank you. You know, it was a huge risk. And I remember on opening day, on the one hand, I was excited. And on the other hand, I was saying, well, what if they walk through and like, yeah, I don't get it. You never know how people are going to respond. But fortunately, the response from the leaders was, how soon can we start getting people in here? Because they were ecstatic about it and couldn't wait to start showing it off. And as you say, you know, the future visioning is all the technology in the future section of the Welcome Center already exists. Now it's a matter for us to get it on a timeline for taking it out to market. So as you say, it's not really wishful thinking. It's that, no, this is the future, and it's coming to LifeWave in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, being able to paint that picture and let them experience it in such a tangible way completely changes the excitement and the motivation around it, knowing that this is just on the horizon. You know, some things for later this year, you know, some things in the next few years to come, but it's truly incredible. And it shows how diverse you and the company are thinking about innovation. It's not just about today's product or today's category even, but these categories that only very few companies would have permission in the minds of consumers to extend into, but with the extensive research allows you to go to these incredible, exciting categories and places. And I'm excited for all of the listeners to hear, you know, over time. And I know you're going to share a couple of the announcements here in a few minutes, but that is such a tangible touch point that communicates the innovation that's at the heart of the company. I know that's been a part of your leadership approach, your R&D approach from the beginning. And I've also seen it cascade and be instilled throughout the organization. How have you helped to take, you know, your ideas, your approach, and make sure that it becomes a part of our everyday approach here at the company?
刚才我们走进了莱威的未来之门，在那个沉浸式的迎宾中心里，我们不只是参观，而是亲身感受了莱威的文化、科技还有愿景。莱威的成长动力并不止于产品或制度，而是深深的扎根在文化跟社群当中。这里有3个面向：健康选择方案，我们提供了人类真正需要的健康选择；品牌社群，透过共同的信念，把全球的力量凝聚在一起；使命的导向，我们改善了生活品质，同时积极的参与公益，把影响力带到更多的角落。所以莱威的愿景不只是做一家健康科技公司，而是要成为一个能够改变文化、引领世代的一个力量。接下来我想带大家看看莱威如何把这一份愿景真正的延伸到跨世代的蓝图，并且一代代的传承下去。让我们来看下一段影片。
So it definitely is sharing the short-term and the long-term vision of the business with all of the key players in the company and ultimately everyone in the company. about where do you want to take the business and why. And the why really has to come first. So, and the why has changed over time as well. So in a recent discussion that I had with the brand partners, what I said to them is, we have an opportunity now to make LifeWave a generational company. So many of the brand partners financially have done great, the elite leaders that we have. And so the proposition is, well, maybe we should start to think about our kids and their kids. And we should think about where do we want to be in 20 years? Many of our brand partners might like to think about retiring and passing the business off over to their kids. But if the company doesn't have a plan to sustain its growth over the next 10, 20 years, then it's kind of pointless. So the vision is to be thinking about that kind of timeline and looking ahead, and what kind of systems can we put in place today to guarantee that we're here 20 years from now. So that's very much become part of our why. We have to be providing something valuable to the planet in order to survive. And of course, that goes hand in hand. But I'm very much thinking about LifeWave now as being a generational company. And so that changes the way that you think about things. So in that regard, when you're looking at it from that perspective, it's like, well, why are we getting involved with drones? Well, it's very simple. Drones by the year 2030 are going to be a $200 billion a year business. And we have a drone technology that even companies like Lockheed and Raytheon and General Atomics don't have. And we'll be able to create a business from that. And that's kind of beyond our discussion today. But we unveiled that 2 years ago and painted that vision and got people very excited about it. And it was also another marker to say, hey, this company is really different. We're very, very innovative in doing different things.
最后，我想跟大家谈谈莱威的企业蓝图。我们不只是看到眼前的市场，而是同行规划短期、长期并行不悖的计划，双轨的愿景。一方面，我们要满足现在的需求；另一方面，我们也要布局未来。Elite SPD 计划透过系统化的培训传承，让领袖一代接一代的茁壮。未来的产业，我们从无人机、清洁能源，还到了一个创新发电的技术，我们正实践下一代的一种可能性。所以，科技在 LifeWave 并不是空谈，而是真正落地的去实践。这就是我们要打造的蓝图，一个能够跨世代、持续影响世界的一个企业。
Another thing that we're doing is we're taking the power generation system that we developed here for the drone, and we're turning that into a method of generating clean energy to power people's homes and charge their electric vehicles. So this is going to be another opportunity for the LifeWave family where we're doing something great for the planet, and we're making people independent and they can earn money in the process. And of course, power generation is going to be something that's going to be around as long as human beings are around. So it's a great business model for us. So those are, of course, some of the things that we're doing to stay innovative and to look at what technologies are going to be relevant decades from now, and how can LifeWave be a part of that and sustain this phenomenal business opportunity.
刚刚 David 提到的 LifeWave 不只是在谈永续的制造跟环保的概念，我们更要用具体的行动为地球带来改变。当我们开始享受美食的时候，其实海洋当中的微塑胶已经进入到我们的身体，这提醒了我们环境跟健康的紧紧相连。所以我们不只是一个企业的责任，更是我们与每个人息息相关的一个课题。莱威一直以有参与公益，从灾难救助到非营利组织的一个支持，而现在我们要把这份的责任扩大到全球性的行动。 那就是清洁海洋计划，用我们的力量去帮助这一个组织来协助海洋当中的塑照片的一个塑胶垃圾。很特别的是，这个装置也叫贴片，正好与我们的这个品牌形成了一个呼应。接下来我想邀请大家一起来看看这令人振奋的一个计划，如何从一步步把我们的海洋这些污染带回了清澈。我们来看这段影片吧。
We're going to use our success to help empower this organization to rid our oceans of microplastics.
What you're about to see, which is so interesting, is they actually call their invention a patch. It is a patch that they use to pick up these 5 trillion pieces of garbage that right now are floating on the top surfaces of our oceans around the world. So first we need to cut off how many are going into the ocean, but this organization is helping us get everything that's presently there out.
So at the Ocean Cleanup, our mission is to rid the world's oceans of plastic.
The real complicated part of this puzzle is that everything is interlinked.
What we need to do is 2 things. 1, we need to clean up the legacy pollution. 2, we need to close the tap.
Everyone's ready?
If we have the motivation and we have the skills, we will get there.
The first few years, we really focused on trying to understand the problem and map it, which then became the basis on which we developed our solution. Our philosophy is to learn as we go and iterate our way towards success.
Good luck!
We've just passed the Golden Gate Bridge, the iconic moment.
Every hour is a small victory, and every plastic piece that we will catch is a small victory.
So we have a major structural failure.
This is normal. Welcome to the world of cutting-edge technology. The plastic is within arm's reach, literally. We can't be that far away from getting a system working.
Whoa! Here, all tiny particles also.
What is the next logical step?
Boyle always thinks about improving.
With this machine, I truly believe that we're on the right track.
A dirty river comes in, a clean river comes out.
That's a teddy bear.
This is the day, this is the moment, finally.
The time has come now to deliver on our promises.
It's so beautiful to see this.
Whoa! The most exciting thing in the world, to me.
We have shown that we are capable to repeatedly harvest large amounts of plastic.
Let this mark the beginning of the end for the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Imagine if we do get this done, we could truly make our oceans clean again. That's a future to look forward to.
今天我们一起看见了莱威的力量，从稳定的供应链到迎宾中心的沉浸式体验，以及到未来产业世代蓝图，这一路我们都不是在谈梦想而已，而是真正的去实践、去见证。因为这个科技不只是空谈，而是一步步的去落地，而莱威正在全世界创造健康、自由、成长的新可能。在这里，每一个人都有机会参与，不只是使用者，而是推动者，更是一个实践者。所以，让我们带着今天的启发以及感动，继续把这份的光分享给更多的人，更多的故事就从你开始。谢谢大家今晚的参与，我们一起来发光。下周我们将继续透过 David 的访谈，听他分享更多的初心、转折以及使命的故事，邀请大家再一次一同感受莱威的力量。谢谢大家，拜拜。我会从其后